Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. How you doing? Thanks for joining me again. If you're new to the channel and you could subscribe, that would be a big help, because I'm trying to build this channel up. It's a new channel, so I want as many subscribers as possible. Build a little boxing community here. And if you could hit the like button, share the video, even better. Any help you can give is always appreciated. So 10 minutes ago, Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford finished their little disagreement. You've probably seen it. It was a 10th round, I guess you'd call it a corner retirement by Porter's father and trainer, which meant that Terence Crawford scored a 10th round TKO over his close friend, Shawn Porter. Great fight, very intense. Lots to admire from both guys. I think when this fight was signed, immediately you knew the stars were going to gel, because you've got that sort of spiteful, dissecting, highly educated style of Crawford's. Very technically sharp, but very spiteful as well, compared to the sort of rampaging physicality of Porter. And so it proved. At the opening bell, out comes Porter, swinging like a madman. But then after 15 seconds, 20 seconds, suddenly he slowed down. And there were lots of feints, because Porter is not the crude caveman slugger that he sometimes, a lot of the more casual boxing fans view him as. There is some, well, there's a lot of thought to what he does. And he was feinting even more than usual, looking for his opportunities. Throughout the first 6, 7, 8 rounds, he sort of varied his attack somewhat. You know, there was his rhythm. He wasn't predictable, is what I'm trying to say, which was just as well, because the last thing you need to be if you're facing Terence Crawford is predictable, and he wasn't. And it did take Crawford the first half of the fight to figure him out. Now, it was a very physical fight, clashes of heads. Porter was cutting, I think it was the second round or the third round, quite a bad cut over his eyelid, but it was, the corner did a good job of containing it. In the 6th round, the boot was on the other foot. Crawford really was showing out quite badly. There was a bad clash of heads, and he had I think it was a vertical cut above his right eye, if memory serves. But, you know, he went back to doing his work. And the thing about Crawford is he does seem to have that ability to assess a fighter usually within the first 3 rounds. It took a lot longer than that this time. But once he's done that, he just instinctively seems to know what to do. Now, if you factor in the fact that Porter, after 6, 7, 8 rounds, was looking very tired and falling over the front foot and becoming a lot more ragged, it was only ever going to end badly for Porter. I had the fight more or less even. I was scoring it. Where did I have it after 8 rounds? I think I had it 4 each. I did not see a stoppage coming, particularly as in the 9th round, even though Porter had slowed up, Crawford didn't seem to be putting his foot on the gas. He didn't seem to be throwing enough punches. He seemed to still be a little bit reticent about Porter coming in, being too physical. And I thought, maybe Porter's forcing him to be reactive rather than proactive. How wrong can you be? How wrong can you be? Because that was the 9th round. In the 10th round, within 30 seconds, Porter is on the floor. Perfectly timed. Was it a left cross or a left hook? I know it was the left hand. Puts Porter over. Not badly hurt. The fatigue didn't help. He got back up. Not a problem. But it was more the fatigue, I think, than anything, looking at it. Anyway, the fight resumed in the 10th round, and Porter hits the floor again, this time from let me get this right, it was a right hook, and then again, Porter was leaning over the front foot badly, trying to get on the inside, too eager, leaving himself open. The right hook came in, and there was a sort of, it was a cuffing blow. I mean, I think the forearm followed through with the left hand, but nevertheless, the left hand did connect. The arm followed through, and Porter hit the floor, punches the canvas in absolute frustration. Understandably so, he's given everything, gets up, doesn't look great, but looks okay. His eyes are clear, his legs look knackered. And the next thing, the referee looks over at Porter's corner, and Kenny Porter, Shawn's father, is standing on the ring apron. It's all over. He's pulling his son out of the fight. Shawn, this is the first time he's been stopped. Very, very unhappy about that. It's a 10th round TKO for Bud Crawford. Interesting post-fight, a little post-fight tension, shall we say, between Kenny Porter and Shawn. The interviewer asked Kenny Porter, "Why did you stop the fight?" And surprisingly, as far as I'm concerned, because Shawn Porter looked in great shape, but Kenny said, "I stopped it because he didn't prepare how he should have done." Wow. I mean, talk about chewing someone out in public. And Shawn stood there, didn't make a lot of eye contact with his dad. I think they'll probably have words, you know what I mean? Have words. But hey, that's between them, you know. Apparently, Kenny Porter is a very strict taskmaster. And if you don't do what he says, especially as it's his boy, he can get away with saying anything to him. He ain't going to be happy. But I felt for Shawn Porter because he was heartbroken at the end of it. You could see it on his face. Bud went over to him, gave him a big hug. They said something in his ear, quite a lengthy little monologue in his ear, probably saying how much he likes him. They're great friends out of the ring, and the mutual respect was great to see. But fantastic win for Terence Crawford. I had a feeling, I do this predictions league thing where every week I pick the fights, you know, and my predictions, and I put it down as a unanimous decision for Bud Crawford. And in the 9th round, when Bud seemed to be a little bit too conservative with his punches, I was thinking, yeah, I've got that covered. It just shows you when you've got an elite level fighter, 1 or 2 punches can change everything, because that's what happened in round 10. He threaded through the perfectly timed, perfectly chosen punches to put Porter on the canvas, and it's a 10th round TKO. Great fight. Both guys, top welterweights. Is Spence going to fight Crawford? I doubt it. He's got the detached retina, which is not an easy injury to come back from. That car crash he had, how he wasn't killed in that car crash, Spence, I'll never know. But that must have surely left some sort of psychological residue, if not physical, with him. But I can see one of them moving up to 154, which is a shame, because Crawford and Spence in the ring together would be fantastic. But are we going to get it? I, for one, am not holding my breath. So anyway, like I say, the fight's only just over. Those are my initial thoughts. I had it pretty even at the time of the stoppage. I might even have had, thinking about it, I might even have had Porter 1 round ahead after 9. But what did you think? Did you see the fight? Give me your opinions down below. It's the type of fight, had it gone the distance, one guy would have got it by a point or 2, and then you'd rewatched it, and you'd have probably given it to the other guy. You'd have made it a draw. There were at least 4 of those completed rounds were swing rounds. But tell me what you think. What do you think's next for Crawford? What do you think is next for Porter? How about a rematch? I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd watch it again. Yeah, I think we can call Bud Crawford at the moment best welterweight in the world. Spence will have something to say about that. It was a split. He won a split decision over Porter. This is a 10th round stoppage, a more decisive victory. And yeah, all credit to Bud Crawford. So leave your comments below. Again, if you're new to the channel and you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Thanks very much for your support. And I'll speak to you again sometime. So you take care. Bye-bye.